Gemma and James Faherty are flying to France. They're travelling with their mum and dad. The Faherty family live at Marlow, which is about 50 kilometres from London, in the southeast of England. They're travelling from Heathrow Airport. Flight takes about 1 hour. How else could they have got to France? They're going to visit a family in Marly-Le-Roi, a town which is about the same distance west of Paris as Marlow is from London. About 17,000 people live in Marly-Le-Roi. There's an old part of the town which was built over 300 years ago, but most people live in the newer part. Here, many people live in apartments or flats. The Fahertys have come to the new part of the town to stay with a French family, Monsieur and Madame Wuest, and their children, Julien and Marie-Céline.
Have you fixed them up with bicycles? Okay.
Yeah. Just leave it like that.
The English family find French breakfasts very different from the ones they have at home. But they enjoy the hot chocolate and the rolls and jam.
Framboise, strawberry? No, strawberry. Raspberry, yes.
After breakfast, it's time for a walk around the town, starting at the pond.
It's a place where the king stopped when he come from Paris.
When the famous French king, Louis XIV, was travelling around from Paris, he often stopped at the pond to let his horses drink and rest. Louis XIV lived 300 years ago, and he liked Marly-Le-Roi so much that he built himself a magnificent palace and beautiful gardens there. You can still see where the palace used to stand, and the King's Gardens are now a large park. The palace and park are near the oldest part of the town. The streets are very narrow, with houses and shops built right onto the street side. You can see when this house was built. Most of the old houses have shutters. What do you think these are for? What do the shutters and the pavement cafes tell you about the climate in France?
9, 10, 11, 12. Very bien. Very good.
After a break at the cafe, it's time to go shopping at the market. There's all sorts of fresh foods on sale here.
Bonjour madame. Pourrais-je avoir une botte d'oignon? Oui.
The Wuests can walk to the market, but because it's not open every day, they also go to a shopping centre on the edge of the town. Here, the shops are open until late in the evening, 6 days a week. The Wuests often go to the boulangerie, or baker's shop. Like most French people, they buy fresh bread almost every day. As well as buying baguettes or French bread, Monsieur Wuest has a treat in store for the children. He's buying them pain au chocolat, bread with chocolate inside.
Avec ceci 2 baguettes.
It's just one of the treats of the shop.
Un chocolat et 2 baguettes. 21, 22, 23, 30, 40 et 50. Voilà.
Merci.
Voilà, merci beaucoup.
The Wuests live about 2 kilometres from Marie-Céline's school. Marie-Céline travels to school by bus. Today, Gemma's been invited to join Marie-Céline's class. Her teacher is getting the children together, ready to go inside.
Il y a une petite fille anglaise qui s'appelle Gemma.
At the start of the day, Marie-Céline's class give Gemma a present to make her feel welcome.
Bienvenue dans notre classe.
Gemma, where do you live?
Marie-Céline's teacher asks Gemma to show the other children where she lives on the map.
Marlow se trouve à l'ouest de Londres.
She explains that Gemma lives near London.
Et Marlow se trouve à l'ouest de Londres, en Grande-Bretagne.
It's 11:30, and all the children must wash their hands before they eat lunch. What do you notice about the soap? Everybody has the same meal, and they serve their own food. There are all sorts of activities at lunchtime. Some are just like those in the United Kingdom, but not all of them. Cycling is very popular in France, and at Marly-Le-Roi, a lot of people cycle in the forest.
Non, ils sont calmes là.
Marly Forest is one of many in this part of France. The forests have survived despite more and more people coming to live in towns near Paris. Marly-Le-Roi is close to Paris. It only takes about 25 minutes to get there by train. So Paris is a good place for a day's outing.
Marie, next one. It will be possible to see, to watch Paris.
It's not long before the Fahertys catch their first glimpse of Paris's most famous landmark, the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
Tower.
I see it.
yeah, the two
Yes.
dark bands. Yes,
Yes, I see it.
I see it.
This is the first place the children want to visit. The steel tower is over 100 years old and 307 metres high. The tower is an ideal place to look down on the whole of Paris.
Gemma, here we are the Eiffel Tower. Here.
From the tower, they can see the River Seine, which flows through the city, busy roads, houses, offices, factories, and open spaces.
And you can see on the right the Arc de Triomphe. The Arc de Triomphe is there and there. You see? Just in front, the Trocadero. Gemma, you see on the map, Trocadero. And behind,
In the distance, they can see the green line of a forest and new skyscraper office blocks. Madame Wuest and Mrs. Faherty have travelled by underground railway to the shopping area in Paris.
Harrods in England. Yes, it's the same.
Paris is famous all over the world as a place where perfumes and fashion clothes are designed. This department store is just one of many specialist fashion shops.
What you smell?
Because Paris is the capital city, it has a lot of big specialist shops.
Okay, and do you know Rochas?
Yes, on a
Yes, Bisson. And you have this one is...
There are several other important buildings in the capital. The National Assembly, where the French government meets. The Louvre Museum, which houses art treasures. The Pompidou Centre, where exhibitions are held. And the Eiffel Tower itself, one of many tourist attractions. The city has grown up around the River Seine. The Wuests decide that a boat trip would be a good way to show their visitors around the city. The first settlers in Paris lived on this island in the river. Notre Dame Cathedral was built on this island over 800 years ago. Because of the size of Paris, it's impossible to see all of it in one day. If you were going to show somebody around your nearest city, how would you decide where to take them? And how would you get about? Back in Marly-Le-Roi, it's Carnival Day. There's a carnival every year when most people join in a procession through the streets. For the Fahertys and the Wuests, it's an ideal way to end their time together in France.